Do you ever get tired of saying that?
You've gotta think big. Dream. The world's changing all around us. A life just fighting to make it day by day is hardly a life at all. I don't want to spend the rest of my days confined to this tiny little corner of the world.
Well, try not to let your dreams grow so big they crush you.
I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll just have you sing for me if it ever gets to be overwhelming.
Why would I be there?
Why wouldn't you? It's hard to show you the world if I don't bring you with me. Knowing you still won't know where you want to go. So I'll bring you with me. We can find a place for you together. Pretty good deal, huh?
No, it's shit. I don't need to see the world. All I want is to fucking live. But I fucking died, Jacopo!
Doze off for a second there. It feels like those days were an eternity ago. I don't need to see the world. All you want is what, Morgana? What were you trying to tell me?
All I want for Christmas is my teeth.
Man, feels like a whole different place here now.
You think? Looks like the same old nasty dump it's always been.
Yeah. He's talking about the whole city, you told.
Exactly. Things are on the up and up in the city proper, but we ain't seeing a scrap of it down here. The heck's up with that? All the new shops spilling out past the city border, the highway, into town's turned into a full-blown bazaar.
Ooh, sounds nice.
Is there anything in that damn head of yours? We're saying, how come we're still living like rats if they got enough spare coin to build all that market space? Hell, with all these damn immigrants coming in, the slums are an ever bigger shithole than before.
Huh. You know, I never thought of it much until now, but you're right. The gang's been a lot busier lately with all the drifters.
And Jacopo, Lord Bonnier, ain't showed his mug down here even once since he took over. I mean, I get that the bloody lord can't spend all day hanging out in the slums, but he could at least visit. Instead, he's spending all his time buddying up with the rich folks.
And we used to be such good friends too.
Wonder if he's planning to just not bother with us at all.
I hope not, but that's sure what it's looking like. You think he'd at least throw us a bone rather than letting the merchants and upper class take coin baths in his coffers? Guess when he became one of them, he became just like him too.
Feels like we're in the exact same place we were a year ago. He's no different than the old Barney, eh?
Go and kick his head in. Go and kick his head in. Beat your boyfriend up.
Good. Oh, it's you. So, you find anything?
Yep. Got the proof we were looking for. But if you'd be so kind and never give me a job like this again, I'd be hanging thrice over if the nobles found out I was sniffing around in their business.
Oh, quit being such a bitch. You didn't steal nothing or kill anyone, you're fine.
A man's secrets can sometimes be worth more than his life. But on to that business. Your suspicions were correct.
Well, fuck me sideways. Here's your pay. Take it and piss off.
Nice doing business. Hey, hold up now. I risked my neck for that to get to ye. And this is all I get in return?
Got a problem with that, you little bitch?
No, sir.
Don't you worry. You'll get your fair due shortly.
Another revolution from your favorite boy, Gresham.
These construction costs are really starting to pile up. Can we put the minor repairs off until we've taken care of more pressing matters? Like using that money to help the poor.
The Lord and his residents are the face of this land. If you wish for the city to continue thriving upon the fruits of your relationships with the surrounding realms, you must maintain a minimum level of respectability, my lord. Merchants in particular are merciless judges of appearance. Of this you can be certain. No respectable merchant will do business on equal terms with a city whose lord refuses to take care of his own home.
I get that, but still, it's so much money.
These are necessary expenses. To acquire the resources required to aid the lower class, we must increase the rate of production. Efforts must begin at the top and gradually work down. Oh, you're full of bullshit! You must not be in such a great rush, my lord. The work you are performing is on a much larger, longer scale than perhaps that of which you were accustomed.
You have a point. Then let the construction continue. I'm definitely coming to see just how crucial a bit of embellishment can be to surviving in high society. Every engagement is like throwing myself into a lion's den. Everyone's surrounding me, measuring me up. They question my pedigree, some with their eyes, some with their mouths. Some even attempt to dig up dirt on me in order to tilt the scales in their favor. Oh yeah, and there was that one time when I was straight up shouted at right to my face. You're no more a damn noble than any of those other rats whose nest you prowl out of, if I recall. Not that he was wrong. I took the throne by force. It's only natural that people are going to have their suspicions. That it came from the slums is just the icing on the cake. I'm damn lucky if condescension is the worst treatment I get on a first encounter. And then there are the distant relatives burning or let us slip through the cracks, slithering back up to assert their right to the land. There are a lot more people out to get me than I first anticipated.
Do remain strong, my lord.
I will always be strong. If I so much as let these wolves smell weakness, they'll pounce all over me. Like hell I'm going to let that happen. I won't have time to work on helping the poor if I have to spend my days fending off packs of bloodthirsty nobles. I must always appear strong under any circumstances. I, of all people, shall know just how easily a lord can be dethroned. And I'll be next if I leave even the slightest opening.
Lovely picture, thank you.
I have to do whatever it takes to make sure that's not my future.
Perhaps you should get some rest, my lord.
Excuse me? Are you insane? I have to review the construction budget so that...
Allow me to handle that. I will get you something to drink. Perhaps a glass of that southern wine you're so fond of. It's quite sweet, perfect for alleviating built-up fatigue.
I am not fatigued.
Come now, please, take this request from an overly concerned consul, my lord.
Fine, you win. It's hard to believe it's only been a year and a half. I feel like we go way back.
We do see each other every day, after all.
I'm starting to crave some variety. Blah. I'm starting to crave some variety, to be honest. I never found a good opportunity to ask you this, but...
Yes?
Do you have any family? Because if you do, you're more than welcome to have them live here.
I appreciate your concern, my lord, but they have all passed away.
All of them?
Indeed. My entire family was eradicated at the previous Lord's order. Once, and only once, I offered him my humble opinion. So infuriated was he by my insolence that he had my family murdered. I would have much preferred myself killed in their stead, but he was a man who reveled in others' suffering.
And you just kept on serving him?
That is correct. I acted as his loyal servant, too afraid to speak up again.
Acted?
Recall what I said when we first met. I was sitting in wait for the perfect opportunity. Now you understand why.
Well, damn.
And if I may come clean about that time, I had every intention of disposing of the Revolution's puppet master. Never once did I trust Ginevra. Her foolish motives were plain as day. As the new lord's mother, she planned to control her planted usurper from the shadows, acting as the effective governor of the land. Having no family left myself, the city and its people are like my children, so I refused to stand by and allow her to turn them into tools to satisfy her own avarice. The land would hardly survive a tyrant sweeping in to replace a tyrant. But she was removed from the board by the former lord before she had a chance to even see her aspirations come to fruition. Knowing she was no longer a danger, I decided I would wait and see how the successor fared before taking any further action, to determine if you were sufficient to serve as lord of this land.
And I guess I pass, huh?
No, I laced this wine with poison, and you will die.
Well, I laced the cookies I gave you with poison too.
Stop! That's gay.
So many people are probably like, what?
Everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's gay. What? Watch Utena. It's super gay. You'll understand.
Or will you?
Or will you? I mean, you
That's a
will.
good
The
question.
context of the scene's quite on the nose.
You don't understand, Utena. You just feel it.
You just vibe. You vibe hard enough to understand all of the meanings. Yes. Or you get super obsessed with it, rewatch it a couple times, and then go, I understand everything. And then you have one of those pin boards with all the string. And then you rant at people at intervals.
Show us your
I'm
board,
calling
Coco.
myself out, to be fair. I tin hat Utena all the time. Are you not upset, my lord?
Nothing to be upset about. You never hid the fact that you acted in your own interests. That if a piece had no value to you, you discarded it. And I always knew there was more than what you were telling me. I'll just say, I'm relieved to still be standing here.
If only you knew how close you were to falling on the other side of that line.
Am I really that on edge? After all the work I put into this?
While you do have a rare aptitude and strength of spirit, you are still much too easily swayed by your emotions. There, go. I shall continue to instruct you until you are able to fully satisfy my expectations. 'Tis rather curious. So oft do we speak, so great our time together. I have come to think of you as my second son.
Don't get all mushy on me, old man.
Baka.
We're not Becca. We're not friends, and we're not family. I'm a pawn on your board, and you a pawn on mine. It's strictly business.
My apologies. I never said a word.
Right. Never happened.
Sun.
Dere.
Soon. Moving right along. You just keep doing what you do best.
At your service, my lord.
Aw.
I do like this man. Even if he turns out to be a dickhead, I do like this man.
Yeah.
A little sketchy on his ideas, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think he actually does have his heart in the right place so far.
Like I'm just suspicious just because like I'm suspicious of everyone in this game at this point.
Yeah.
Well, that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
forward-facing sprites make me nervous, to be fair.
But so far he seems at least he seems like a nice old man.
Mori Snick, the rare momentary Jacopo smile. Yeah, I'm mad at myself that I clicked through it so fast. I tried going back, but I can't.
Fine. It's
missed her.
fine.
Out of curiosity, do you have any free hands around capable of riding a horse?
Also, welcome to the stream.
Welcome to
Oh,
the
yes.
street.
Welcome.
For what purpose?
There's someone I want found.
Whoever it may be you wish to find, my lord. I am obliged to remind you that.
You don't even have to finish that, I know. I'm supposed to leave the past in the past.
Let us see, then. Your men have their hands rather full at present, though we can perhaps arrange for one of them to be reassigned.
Are you sure?
'Tis a small request, and not once in your entire tenure have you requested to use your men for personal matters. I believe we can spare a hand or two on such rare occasions.
Much appreciated.
Shall I arrange for them to set off immediately?
Please. I'm looking for a girl. If she's alive, she'll look around 13 or 14. And she has unusual markings on her face.
Markings akin to burn scars?
Barnier once imprisoned her in this manner. He used her as a prop for his banquets, cutting her up from head to toe. My guess is that the patches on her face are a result of Barnier's abuse.
Indeed. I know the girl. I presume she had not survived the slave revolt. I take it you care deeply about this girl, my lord. Then allow me to offer my sincerest apologies in his stead.
No need to apologize. Will you help me find her, Odilon?
I will oversee the search operation personally to the best of my ability, my lord. I pray this girl is still alive.
As do I, unlikely as it may be. I'm just chasing after a sliver of a dream that shattered long ago. That said, if you do find her alive, bring her here without telling her it's at the Lord's order. She'll likely assume it's the old Barnier who's after her if you say anything. And if she happens to have found a new home where she's happy, just leave her be.
Understood.
Time drifted slowly onward. As I'd anticipated, there was no news regarding her whereabouts. But new shops and stores continued opening in the city, with them coming a steady flow of travelers and passing merchants. And as traffic through the city increased, so too did the number of people seeking an audience with me. I was getting busier by the day. My plans to attract merchants and artisans from the capital had worked, and every one of them seemed to have a bigger, more ambitious proposition than the last. My days became a cycle of meetings, reviewing propositions, balancing the budget, and deciding whether to proceed or postpone. And amidst all the tumult, my thoughts drifted ever further from the poorest of my people. And that's the last of the day's meetings. There's no end in sight to this.
That is a good thing, my lord. It means you have succeeded in drawing traffic to the city.
I guess, but still. I need to go back and review all these proposals, so...
Lord Bonnier, a moment.
I don't have a moment to spare.
A town person requests an audience with the Lord.
You have been instructed to deny entry to commoners.
I tried, but he refuses to leave the gate.
Hold on, what's this man's name?
Sir, he calls himself Gracian.
Oh shit, is it really him? Let him in by all means.
My lord, you mustn't give anyone special treatment.
Crash is not just anyone. We've been to hell and back together. He wouldn't be here if it wasn't important. I should hear what he has to say.
No, my lord, you cannot. Your past is.
He's a good friend. I'm not sending him away. That's not even on the table.
Friend or not, you mustn't give him an audience. You are the lord now, and he a mere peasant. You cannot be certain he will hold himself with proper decorum.
I don't appreciate what you're implying about my friend, old man. He's not goddamn brute. Are you sure about that?
I mean...
That's the crux of his character. Meathead. I imply nothing, my lord.
Keep your counsel to topics you actually know something about. I'm not going to stand by and listen to anyone insult my friends, not even you.
My lord, must I remind you yet again to keep your temper in check.
Crap, that's enough out of you. I'm done. Not another word on this subject.
My lord.
Hey, guard, open the gate.
Yes, sir.
Fucking Gratian flies through the fucking gate and punches fucking Jacopo's lights out immediately.
Sup, Jacopo? It's been ages.
It feels like forever. How have you been doing?
Smiling! Do you see him smiling?
I
That's
see
so
it.
weird.
Wow.
Never better. How about you, kid?
Show proper respect to your lord, peasant. You are to refer to him as Lord Bonnier, not any false names he may have responded to while in hiding.
Seriously? You ain't gonna let him kick back even for a buddy?
Enough, Odilon. He can call me by my old name.
But my lord,
I said I've heard enough from you.
Well, look at you, taking charge and barking orders, all important like.
Do you like it?
Yes. You're like a whole new man, my lord.
Please, you can use my name.
I'm dead serious, though. Hard to believe it ain't even been 2 years. You seriously look like a whole new man.
You think so? I don't feel like I've changed all that much myself.
I don't know, you're just, what's the word? Emanate lordliness now. Guess it don't take long in the nobles then to turn into one of them, no matter how far down the chain you come from. And look at this room. Look at all these fancy fucking furnishings. None of this old Bonnier stuff, is it?
Nope. With all the meetings I've been having, I needed to make sure I had a room that was nice and presentable.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Hey, don't think I'm just throwing around money for the fun of it. If I want any pull in a negotiation, I need to look like I have.
No need to explain yourself, kid. I totally get it. It ain't easy dealing with a bunch of rich folks with sticks up their asses.
I appreciate it. Anyway, what brings you here today?
Whoa, bud, do I need a reason to visit a friend? Can't a guy just wanna hang out and catch up? Come on.
I never said that. I'm just extremely busy at the moment. I don't have much time to spare for anyone.
Come on, don't be such a tight ass. That's exactly why I'm here. To make sure you don't get that stick up there so deep it punctures your brain. You gotta let loose sometimes. Oh, Moon.
That's actually a brilliant idea, Mon. I suppose. Thank you for your concern.
I'm not liking how this is called once a friend. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. So, let's get sloshed, just like the old days. I even brought the booze.
I wish I could, but I don't have the time.
You'll drink with merchants and rich snobs, but not me. That stings, kid. Right to the gut.
I see you're as pushy as ever. Alright, fine. One drink, in the back room.
Haha, that's what I'm talking about.
My lord.
Fine, Odilon. We go back years. There's nothing wrong with a couple of friends sharing drinks after hours.
If you insist, my lord. But the peasant must leave his blade behind. I will not under any circumstances allow you to be alone with an armed swarm dweller.
Yeesh, everyone here needs to loosen up, huh? You seriously think I'm gonna pull a sword on an old pal?
Humor me.
Whatever, fine. You win, old timer. Happy now?
Yes.
Sorry about that, Gratian. Odilon's always on edge. It's nothing personal.
Nah, it's cool. Can't say I blame him. Now, let's go get thrashed. I brought a little something from that pub we used to haunt. Bet you usually drink way better shit than this now that you're the friggin' lord. But it'll be like old times, you know?
This reminds me of the time we had that drinking contest.
Wanna go another round?
I'll have to refrain. Odilon will murder me if I did that.
Sounds like the geezers got you by the balls, huh? No fun allowed up here in the Lord's house.
It can be rather suffocating, yeah.
Well, you can at least let loose today. To old times, kid.
To all times.
Hmm.
Now this is a sight I never dreamed of. The two of us here in the Lord's Manor, drinking together. We were both slaves when we met, for God's sake.
No fucking joke. You never know what life will bring ya. Been almost 5 years since then. You weren't even 20 yet.
I expect we've both grown quite a bit since those days. Or are you still running around like a wild boar even now?
Hard to say. I don't think I'm as bad as I used to be, but getting into shit kinda comes with the territory, you know? And the slum's still the same as ever.
I see. So how's everyone doing down there?
We're scraping by as usual.
The rest with the gang? And Maria?
The guy's still lazing around at the pub all day. Maria's rebuilt the brothel and she's getting by as best as she can. Obviously not in the same place, and it's smaller than the old one. But for a chick, she's doing alright for herself.
I'm glad to hear it.
So, tell me, kid. You and her totally had a thing, yeah?
Where on earth did that come from? I believe I already told you. No, we didn't.
Just seem like she's about 10 times more worried about you than anyone else. There must have been something. Don't make sense otherwise. Maybe she just had a thing for you and you never saw it. Poor girl.
There were no romantic feelings on either side. We were friends, simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less.
Have you seen those honkers?
Have you seen yours, Christian?
Have you seen your own goddamn titties, sir? They exceed Maria's by a mile.
What does that have to do with anything?
It just don't make sense to me. How can a guy only be friends with a chick?
It just means we value certain things in life differently.
You know, you like to do that sometimes. Get all weirdly noble like that. Hey, I didn't mean that as a jab.
It has nothing to do with being noble. Maria's special. We've known each other most our lives, and we survived hell together.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that before, didn't ya? That you two have known each other longer than anyone else. What was it like back then for the two of you?
Before I met her, Maria was raised in an orphanage. She said she ran off because she and the director didn't get along.
Huh, can't say I'm surprised. How about you?
I hardly remember anything from before I came to this city. Just bits and pieces of what my mother told me. Being guarded by a bunch of men, being kidnapped by bandits.
You mean that's noble, woman? Real shame you had to lose her so soon after reuniting, huh?
Indeed it is.
Don't you think it's about time you cut the shit?
Excuse me?
You're not a Bonnier. You didn't inherit the throne. You're just a damned fraud. Ain't that right, Jacopo?
What are you talking?
Finally starting to kick in, it looks like. God, you got any idea how hard it is not to throttle you through that entire conversation?
What? Almost out of nowhere, my heart rate skyrocketed and my legs started trembling so violently I had to lean against the wall to support myself. The whole world started swirling, and I could just barely make out my old friend glaring at me through the fog.
And things go the way they do in Fata Morgana. Yep.
Indeed.
Yes.
How you like that? Feels like your heart's about to burst, don't it? Don't you worry, kid. You won't be feeling nothing soon.
You poisoned the drinks? Why would you?
Why? You seriously need me to spell it out for you? You've been stuffing your head with that fucking rainbows up here? You wanna know what they call you down in the slums? Jacopo the betrayer.
I did not betray.
You take one goddamn look at the city and tell me that again. While you're up here treating anyone with a cart and some trinkets to sell like fucking royalty, the slum is still the same rat's nest you left it in. No, we're even worse off. With your new marketplace, anyone can turn a little bit of money into a big old pile of gold. But if you've got nothing to begin with, you're just dead in the streets. All you're doing is making the rich even richer.
No, I'm trying. I wanted to explain how I had everything planned out. How I first needed to improve the economy as a whole before I could turn my attention to the less well-off. That nothing changing was proof I was protecting them. That the slum had been in danger of being eradicated entirely, and I had stopped it. But I could see in his eyes that nothing I said would convince him. As far as he was concerned, I was pure evil.
You're not the man you used to be.
Crashin, why? I thought you believed in me.
You're damn right I did. And then you went and fed us a bunch of lies. You called yourself the rightful heir. You called yourself a barnier. But I did my digging. You don't got a lick of royal blood in you. All you ever wanted was to line your pockets, you selfish bastard.
No,
You never had any intention of helping us.
Please, hear me out, Gratian.
We were all just pawns to you. The whole damn revolution was part of your game.
Begging you.
How's it feel knowing your throne sits on the backs of all those people you betrayed?
Please.
You don't have any right to call yourself the goddamn lord.
Gratian.
Hell, you barely have any right to call yourself a fucking man. You're just a rat in fancy clothes. It should have been me. I should have made an infinite... I would have made an infinitely better lord than you ever were. If only I'd had that ring, then it could have been me.
So that's what this is all about. In a flash, everything I once felt for this man, all the friendship, the camaraderie, the sympathy, all went cold. As much as he tried to dress up this whole farce, that was where his heart truly was. He was just sour about not being the one who got to be the Lord. He believed himself superior. He got himself caught up in this stupid fit of jealousy. And now he's trying to kill me over it? That's seriously all this is? Are you listening to a word you're saying?
What was that?
You're the one who's not the man he used to be. And you're the one who's being a self-centered bastard.
Talk all you want, dead man.
The Gratian I knew will never resort to using poison. He'd have drawn his sword the second he passed through those gates, faced me like a man. But look at you. Even Barnier had more of a spine than you.
You dare compare me to that sack of shit! Alright, fine, I'll play it your way.
He had a knife hidden on him? An instant later, Gratian was brandishing a short blade. He had snuck it in under his clothes, I presumed. I was almost amazed at how thoroughly prepared he was. He never had an intention of this going any other way. He hadn't come to talk. He was never going to hear me out. He was here to do one thing and one thing only. And I doubted he had any plans for what will come next. Raw hatred was all that fueled him. He wouldn't take my place after killing me. He wouldn't work himself to the bone to ensure the city kept running. He didn't give a single damn about any of that. You're scum! I won't be taken down by some worthless, self-absorbed rat. Nothing I had ever tried had been enough to best Gratian in combat. And that was when I was at my peak, not with the myriad needles of his poison prickling my every pore, barely able to stand under my own weight. But still, I had no intention of surrendering my life to this core. I took in a deep breath, clenched my teeth, shouted at my shaking limbs. Move. 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 Move, damn you! My fingers, I could feel them again. Before the thought finished passing through my mind, my hand reached for a blade. Grasping the rapier hanging from the wall, I swiftly drew it from its scabbard. It was a decorative blade, not meant for combat. It would probably bounce right off Gratian's muscular chest. But there was one place I could target.
Rotten hell, you son of a bitch!
Knife in hand, he lunged at me. Just moments before death befell me, My vision, blurred by the poison, grew unbelievably clear. Garcia almost appeared to be moving in slow motion. I wasn't sure my mind had ever been so clear, so sharp in battle before. The dying embers of my fading life burned anew into a blazing inferno. Gah! Unlike my fight with Barnier, this one was over in an instant. Before I had time to breathe or even blink, it was settled. And in that same instant, everything I had built up with this man turned to dust. I had never once defeated him. For as long as I had known him, I was always, always, always number 2. And now, for the very first time, I won.
Why did it have to be you there and not me?
The blade of the rapier in my hand skewered Grathian's throat. His mouth flapped open and shut like a fish. He glared at me, face twisted in a mixture of hatred and agony, sputtering fragments of contempt, until the life drained from his eyes. My first victory against my old friend also took his life. And it all happened in the blink of an eye, hardly enough time to even register in my mind.
My lord. My lord, what was all that commotion? What's happened? My lord, please, stay with me. Were you poisoned? Someone! Is anyone there?
Yes, sir.
A doctor, as quickly as you can.
I...
My lord, please. My lord, a doctor will be here shortly. Please stay with me a little longer. My lord.
Odilon, you are right. I was stupid. I should have listened. I thought he was my friend, but he wasn't. Not anymore. And because we had once been friends, that made him my greatest threat.
Welcome, Rogue.
Can't breathe. My blood feels like it's made of magma. My throat burns. My skin, it's like it's being eaten away. But that was a nice laugh.
I was winding up for it.
Who's there? Who's there? Why are you laughing? Answer me. Oh,
It was gonna be him.
nice. Oh, you two do such nice crazy laughs.
How does it feel, boy? To know it all went exactly as I said it would.
How You're...
That you wouldn't be able to trust anyone.
You're dead.
The worst is yet to come, boy.
Silence.
You could work yourself to the marrow of your bones and still the people would never look beyond the surface.
I said enough.
Listen, you can hear the scorn in their voices. They're calling you a tyrant, a soulless monster. I know you can hear them.
They are not.
They say you're no better than me. That you're a foolish ruler who cares not for his people. They shout an endless cacophony of discontent.
Shut up. Just shut up. I am nothing like you.
Can you then remain a virtuous leader, no matter how bitterly your people despise you? Is your love for them truly so resolute? No, the virtue you brandish was never so selfless.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong, slum rat. It is not benevolence that drove you to take the throne, but a thirst for power, for prestige.
Not another word.
Do you know what truly brought you here? You were tired of people looking down on you. You thought you would be treated with respect if you had real power. You wanted it more than anything in the world.
Enough already.
You dedicating your life in service of others. It was never going to last. Allow me to make a prediction. Soon, very soon, you'll find yourself drifting over to my side. You'll stop caring about the people's lives, and for that they will despise you. You'll lose any last bit of sense left in you, push everyone away until you're all alone, and then you'll succumb completely to madness' grip.
Stop talking.
You don't have what it takes to be the lord of the land.
I said stop talking.
The people aren't the only ones who aren't on your side. You have enemies everywhere you look. The nobles don't accept you as one of them. They'll try to drag you off your throne by any means. Your aides and servants will turn on you. And this won't be the last time you writhe in the claws of poison. Again and again and again and again, never will you stop being the target of others' loathing. Or will you continue to act like some kind of paragon of virtue, never wavering in your faith in others? How long will your benevolence last? In the face of dozens of attempts on your life.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
It won't be easy, boy. Because you came from the slums, you'll face even more, even greater threats than I.
Silence.
I bet that just terrifies you. Drains all the hope from your heart. Well, there's an easy solution. Follow in my footsteps and reign with terror.
Stop talking. I've heard enough of your goddamn noise.
You're already afflicted with a great curse, boy. A curse known as the Lord of the Land. It's a curse from which you will never be free. And hence, you will never be free from me. However much you may come to regret taking that throne, you can't give it back now. It's not something you can simply hand off to someone else, nor a duty from which you can simply relieve yourself. That anguish and agony and misery it brings you every day will follow you all the way to your grave.
Just stop. Damn it. Keep your babbling to yourself, you damn ghost.
Go on, try and make me. Cover my mouth, why don't you? You can't do it, can you? You're too weak to defeat even a mere spirit.
Shut the hell up.
I know precisely what your future holds, boy. You'll sit upon the throne alone, not a single person at your side. Not even death will free you from your eternal solitude. For it is naught but an empty shell with which you decorate the throne.
Stop talking.
Do you hear that, slum rat? Someone's coming for you. The question is, do they act out of genuine concern? Can you be sure the water they gave you is safe to drink? Perhaps they mean to finish you off. If a simple grunt like him could get his hands on poison, how easy do you think it would be for the Lord's Consul to procure a substance hundreds of times more potent? Hell, you wouldn't even have to go through the trouble. You're no more a threat than an insect with its wings torn off. A feeble woman or a crippled slave could plunge a knife into your trembling spine with little effort. Behold, the former mastermind of the revolution. All this suffering, you brought it on yourself by trying to defy your fate.
The nightmares continued. Again and again and again they haunted me. Every time I drifted off to sleep, there floated Barnier's severed head, cursing me, mocking me, laughing at me from every direction. And as he said I would, I soon began to hear two people as well, endlessly condemning me, deriding me, berating me. I tried to convince myself it was all in my head, but Requiem's words told me otherwise. All my own companions called me Jacopo the betrayer, he had said. I wasn't sure how much time had passed. Was it day? Was it night? Was I sane enough to tell the difference? Was I even still alive? I had no idea. It was always the same refrain every time he appeared. You can't trust anyone. Your friends will all eventually betray you, try to drag you off your throne. Your people have no faith in you. Everyone despises you. I couldn't even tell anymore. Were those Barnier's words? Or were they coming from the depths of my own mind? All I knew for certain was that there was no escaping them, and that they were slowly eating away at my spirit. My breathing was labored, and my entire body felt like it was on a speed being I've been being roasted in the eternal flames of hell. And at other times, I couldn't stop shivering. I felt like I had been tossed into a frozen river. Doctors, guards, Odilon, I couldn't tell who was who, but there always seemed to be someone standing at my side. The faithless shadows were anything but comforting though, for Barnier's ghost constantly reminded me of the threat they posed. I quite certainly wailed like a terrified child. Everyone seemed like a danger. If even Gratian couldn't be trusted, who was to say the doctors weren't sneaking poison into my medicine? Who was to say Odilon didn't plan to silently remove me? I didn't know who I could trust. Or maybe Barnier was right. I couldn't trust anyone. Still he cackled. Still he cursed right by my ear. There isn't a soul left in this world who won't betray you. He whispered, laughing away.
And with that, we have come to the end of the stream. Indeed.
Boy.
Indeed. Well then, thank you everyone who joined us for this stream. 4 pixels for the rest of this week. We have... I might be joining another streamer for just like a sort of just talking sort of stream while we play Viscera Cleanup. Yes, the streamer in question is Lemolian. That will be on Sunday at about 1 p.m. EST. Make sure to check our Twitter just to make sure of that. And then later on that day, Sunday at 6 p.m. EST, is going to be Battle Block Theater with myself and Kiadane. Then on Monday at 8 p.m. EST is going to be Leifle streaming Subnautica. And on Tuesday, Moon streams. What are you doing, Moon?
We're going back to the roulette, because even though I've been enjoying Chroma Squad, it doesn't seem to vibe with most people, so I'm going to pick a new game, hopefully with the help of the poll. If not, like if there's not enough interaction with the poll, I'll just play the Bug Fables game that had been picked another time. I wasn't ready for it because I wanted to do a special frame for it, so I'll look into doing that this weekend.
All right, and then we return on Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. EST with more House and Fata Morgana.
Yee.
I'm
excited.
Yes. Have a good night or day, everyone, and please take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.